What's happening? This is Len Davis with Pangelity Productions. We're here in Seattle, Washington at Carkeek Park with my friend Tim. Record? Are we recording right now?
We are recording, and I am record.
Nice. So what is happening here, Tim? What's this project all about and what's going on here right now?
Well, we're here in Carkeek Park. We have this facility, which we call an Imprint pond, where we raise salmon fry. That means baby salmon. The water in this pond actually comes from the creek. There's an intake system that fills this pond with water, and then the water goes right back out into the creek. And what's happening is these salmon, which are about 6 weeks old, are going to stay in here for another three more weeks. We call it an imprint pond because they're imprinting on the creek water. They're memorizing I call it the smell. I don't think literally it's the smell, but they have sensors that figure out what the chemical and mineral composition of the water is. So when we release them, and then if 3 or 4 years later they become adults, they come back to spawn, they smell the creek, they smell Piper's Creek and go, oh wow, that's where I need to go. Wow. And they swim back up here. And if you come in the fall and like Thanksgiving, you'll see big old salmon like this spawning.
But it won't be these. It takes a couple years, right?
These will take 3 to 5 years to come back.
Okay. So they're born in the freshwater, they imprint on the creek, they spend their lives out in the sound, or not even the sound, they might go as far as Alaska, right?
They go out to the ocean, yeah. I don't know exactly how far they go, but they definitely go as far as the ocean. And yeah, exactly right. These actually, the eggs for these salmon come from a hatchery over on the peninsula. It's called Grover's Creek Hatchery. It's run by the Suquamish tribe. So we get, this is 35,000 fish in here that we got from eggs turned into the fry. We try to keep them at least 6 weeks. These are going to be in here longer, like almost 8. So it's great. The bigger they get, the better the chance they have to make it.
Amazing. And then you just release them.
Okay, that's enough, bud, for now. Let that all go around so all the different fish get a chance to eat something.
What do you think about that, Zoo? Pretty fresh, huh?
Wow, look at those guys.
It's fresh water.
Here,
How large will they be before they're released?
Not a whole lot larger than this. I would say about...
Ooh, I hear a bald eagle right up there.
Yeah. Oh, there they go, yeah.
Crows are chasing it.
Crows get pretty territorial about the eagles. There
So,
it is.
Yeah, 2 of them.
Oh, nice, right there. Bam. Come back, friends. And so you were about to say over here?
They get about, about so big as my little finger, maybe not quite. But here, I'm gonna show you up close what they look like. Oh, I hear the eagle.
Is that like some mating behavior? Huh?
That might
Nice.
be that might be a mating pair.
2 bald eagles just soaring above us. In the...
Okay, I think you said that.
So we're gonna get some water.
Hey, Zoo, check out what Tim's
Put it in
doing.
here. And then you'll see, I don't know if you can get a picture
We're going to be able
of
to see them
this.
up close?
Yes, you're going to get a picture of this. They have a pretty good instinct to flee from predators, so they'll dash away from that net pretty quickly. Okay, so here, buddy, you hold that. Hold it over the water for me. Good and strong, and I'm just going to go like this. And we're going to go like this. You holding it? And now you can see up close what they look like when they're those little fry like that.
Can you hold it so I can see it, love? Wow. And these are chum salmon, is that right?
Chum salmon, yes. They think, or I think they maybe more than think, they know that back before there was any development around here, this was a coho salmon habitat. But when the railroad came, here, I want to show you something though, before we pour all that out. Can you see their color? When you look at the fish in there, what color do they look like?
Gray.
Sort of grayish, greenish, right? But then look at them from underneath. What color do they look like?
White.
Why is that, you suppose?
Because the bottom.
Because that's the bottom, but why is the bottom different than the top? It's kind of an interesting question. But if you were hunting for salmon and you were a bird and you look down you'd see gray-green fish with a gray-green stream or ocean underneath it, right? But if you were a fish trying to eat salmon, you'd be underneath it, looking up. And what if you were looking up at the water, what would you see? If you were looking straight up from underneath the water, would you see the sky, right? What color is the sky?
Blue.
Blue. What color is it right now? Kind of white? Same color as the fish. That's their camouflage. So when someone's underneath them trying to eat them, they look up, they can't see them very well. When someone's above looking at them trying to eat them, they still can't see them as well. That's why they're two different colors. That's pretty cool. Yeah, these are chum salmon, and we raise chum salmon here mostly because they're plentiful. They're more adaptable than coho or king, which we call chinook, right? Coho and kings are more finicky. These guys are like tougher, a little more adaptable, have a better survival rate. And really that's what we're trying to do here, is ensure the salmon come back when they get to adult spawning age. So the better chance they have for survival.
So that their decomposing bodies can feed the forest and so many other functions.
You got it. It's the whole cycle.
It's the, hey, what's the song, Ani? The Lion King? It's the Wheel of Life? It's right. The, Ani? What's the Lion King song? The Circle of Life. It's the Circle of Life. Nice. So Tim, what's going on here is both practical in terms of supporting the salmon, as well as an information center and a place where people from the area can learn in order to better understand how to protect our watershed and understand the role of salmon in the whole ecosystem, correct?
I would say in terms of conservation, the numbers of fish that we're raising and will be raised to adulthood can only help. But chum aren't an endangered species. There's plenty of them. So the sheer numbers won't make a big difference. Mostly, this is about education and awareness, especially for guys like this, who hopefully will come and do a better job of taking care. Oh, let's keep those guys back in there. They get stressed out if they get hooked too much. There we go.
Awesome.
You know, hopefully they'll do a better chance of keeping the habitat alive than my generation did. I live near here. I just think this park's a gem. Yeah. So, you know, I think, hey, if it helps a little bit to take care of it, all the better.
Great. So sweet. Thank you so much, Tim.
You got it.
Awesome. So I'm Len Davis, a Seattle-based filmmaker. We're here in Carkeek Park in northwest Seattle. This stream, about a quarter of a mile, runs down into Puget Sound, which is the ocean. So it's the fresh water feeding into the salt water. This is just a residential neighborhood right up here above the trees. And I feel like in the 20 years I've lived here, I've come to better understand how significant the keystone species of salmon are and their integral role in the larger ecosystem. So we just met Tim walking down the pathway here into the park to go scout out my son's 7th birthday party location. And it's just great to learn about what they got going on here. So sweet. Chum salmon, Maple and Lexi, and Len and Ani and Zuli and Paul and Tim just learn about salmon. Hey, Zuzer.